There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not the same. Hello, welcome to Standing Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I'm Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Heaven's Graveyard by Grace Curtis. This is a book from DAW. It's coming out June 16th. It's a fantasy novel. I received this book from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review. While intriguing and fun, it didn't resonate with me as much as Idlefire, but I still enjoyed it. What's this book about? It's been 2,000 years since the events of Idlefire, and we're in a whole new kite-drawn cargo ship's race across thoroughly charted seas, hauling the latest innovations in convenience and slaughter. It is developed, learned, interconnected, and on the brink of catastrophic war. Archaeologist Cod couldn't care less about the conflict brewing between neighboring powers. She spends her days in happy obscurity, cataloging relics in the Republic of Asha, and searching for clues about her lifelong obsession, the mythical hero Alia Anya Alai. Then a letter arrives summoning her home. Cod's old teacher has made the discovery of a lifetime, but her home in Pelagro and the discovery, the ruins of the enchanted city of Nivella, is set to change the world, and not for the better. You don't really need to have read Idlefire to enjoy and understand this one, but it does give a bit of insider information, and a reveal near the end is a bit more impactful knowing the end of Idlefire. In fact, I'd argue it's kind of a spoiler for Idlefire, so read that one first before this one if you are interested. Now, I adored Idlefire, so it's possible I was going into this one with extremely high expectations. I wasn't let down, as the story is fun, fast-paced, and has interesting characters, but I suppose it wasn't Idlefire, a book that blew me away, so I wasn't let down. I was just like, it's you know what I mean. When there's a book that you absolutely adore, and then you read a sequel, and you're just like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not the same. Anyway, we're not here to talk about a book I loved, but this book instead. What Heaven's Graveyard has is a sort of national treasure with lesbians vibe, and with a hint of supernatural or magic elements. I guess in a sense it's sort of like Tomb Raider or Indiana Jones, if the main character wasn't a fighter, but a historian who is bad with people. Coda, I can't figure out if her nickname is Cod or Code, so we're sticking with Coda, is an interesting person because she's so wrapped up in her own head, she fails to recognize when she's not being great to the people in her life. She also has real mommy issues, which serve to broaden her characterization. There was one scene, though, that was quite distressing that I think was supposed to show the depths of her obsession, but instead came off as unfeeling. I think Coda's obsessive nature could have actually been shown a lot more. I don't think that came across enough, because at times I was like, who cares? Like, why are you doing this? I think if her obsession had been, like, it's clear that she's obsessed with the myth, but I think it could have gone a bit further, in fact, and maybe a few more scenes at the start with her, ignoring people or not doing stuff. Like, there were little hints here and here, but I just think it could have been a bit stronger to make that scene in particular show not that she's kind of an unfeeling person who would do something like this simply for curiosity's sake, but she's an obsessive person that hyper focuses on things and to her own detriment. Anyway, minor thing. The other two major characters in the book, Sparrow and Thal, are both completely different in personality from Coda and each other, yet work well as personality foils for her. Sparrow is like very outgoing and gregarious and kind of funny, and then Thal is very kind of uptight and rule-based. So it was like a very interesting kind of dynamic. In fact, both of the dynamics were interesting. It would have been interesting to see the three of them together, actually, because we don't really get that. I really enjoyed the mystery, though I wish we'd seen a bit more excavating. The one thing that did fall a bit flat for me, actually, was the world building in one regard. While Idlefire felt flushed out because the women are traveling from place to place to place, you get to kind of visit all these different cultures and societies and stuff. This one had a little bit of that. There was next to no kind of politics in this book, and while not every book needs politics, I sort of needed it to understand the impending war threat aspect. It kind of felt like a non-issue to me, like something that was happening in the background. Like, it was inconvenient for Coda at times, but I wasn't sure how it was actually tied into the Idlefire aspect, really. Like, I was trying to figure out the logistics between what someone was doing, and I was just like, but how? Maybe that just needed a bit more fleshing out, too. The pacing was a little bit off-center. The first two-thirds is a mystery, and the last is sort of a chase scene. The latter needed a bit more time, I found, to really make the reveal a payoff. It just felt a bit rushed. I still enjoyed it. I still thought it was fun. I really liked the chase part. Actually, I'd say that part was almost my favorite part of the story. I just kind of wish it was like a little bit longer. The book also isn't a romance at all. I don't know why people are thinking that. I looked at a few reviews and I was like, let's say it's a romance. There's a subplot that is tied to the plot itself that deals with a romance, but there's no yearning or slow burn or anything like that at all. And this isn't a failing of the book at all. It actually worked really well. I liked the fact that we had lesbian characters and the story wasn't just about them being lesbians or being a romance. Like, you can be, you can be a queer person and then not be your entire arc, and I actually really like that. I just wanted to bring up that if people are thinking this is a romantasy for some reason, it is not a romantasy. Do not go into it thinking it's a romantasy. Overall, though, if you enjoyed Idlefire, you will love this. I really liked it. I adored Idlefire, and this was a cool kind of like follow-up to it. It was nice to get some kind of like a definitive end result from the first book, which was not left on a cliffhanger, but it had like kind of a more open ending. So it was kind of nice to kind of tie that up. Yeah, it was a great read, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much to Daw for the e-arc.